up, dude?
It's Damien, Carlos. What's going on, guys? Okay, so while we're waiting for everyone to chime in, I have a conversation piece for us. We'll call it.
Okay.
Possibly a gripe, maybe a...
An argue?
Why did I choose... It was your choice. It was your choice. Okay, so... Yeah, last night, we put up the video for the 2330.
Yeah.
Damien can't stay not much, can't stay long. Well, stay as long as you can. But then we understand why you have to leave, so thank you for at least coming up.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Mike? What's up? Nstall Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Michael.
Two Steves. Michael. Hello from Detroit.
Yes. Hello, Valerie.
So anyways, real quick.
What's going on, buddy?
Thank you. Okay, so put up the 2330 video last night.
All right.
Okay, got it done. Sorry it took so long.
Yeah.
We'll have more of them, of course, this week. Anyways, one of the comments on it was, I don't know anyone would want to buy something like this. Just put an iPad in the dash. And that got me thinking. Okay, let's think about this for a minute. Needs dyno. It will have a dyno.
Yes.
We want to get the other videos out first. But definitely needs a dyno. I also want to do the Alpine. That's kind of high on my list.
Yeah.
The 107. I want to dyno that to see if it's really putting out 2 volts or what it's actually doing. So, anyways, they commented on, why would you put one of these in the dash, do an iPad? Everyone needs to do an iPad.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, let's put it in perspective real quick. It's a $500 radio.
Okay.
That'll do CarPlay, it'll do Android Auto, it'll do Waze. It'll pair 2 Bluetooth phones to it seamlessly, so that you can make phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a car stereo. It has an AM/FM tuner. If you want to, which I don't really consider it high on priority, is that it'll play a CD or a DVD.
Yeah.
There again, not real high on priority. But what it does have on the back side is 6-channel preamp output,
Okay.
13-band EQ, time correction, network stereo mode, independent channel controls for all 5 corners. So for volume control as part of
controls,
that,
yes.
the ability to integrate in the steering controls, all that fun stuff.
Yes.
Okay. iPad dash kit, and it's like $1,000. Correct. And that's what we're getting to.
That's what we're going for.
So, if you buy an iPad mini, which is the thing, now keep in mind that 2330 retails for $500. Retails. That's what everyone retailing, you go to Pioneer, says $500. So it's obviously cheaper than that, but whatever. So, now what we have is an iPad, which retails for what it retails. This is Apple. There's no So we got to compare new to new. I'm not talking about getting some old iPad.
Right.
So, if you buy a basic iPad mini 4 or whatever it is, that's $400. So it's $100 less.
Yes.
Now, that's not going to give you text messaging. That's not going to give you, unless somehow you manage to pair it to a secondary Wi-Fi device, okay, in your car.
Okay.
So let's say you have to get one that has the cellular network built into it, so you can get text messaging, do phone calls, do all that fun stuff.
That's extra more.
That's $530. Plus, you're going to need
phone
service. Well, no, you're going to need the phone service.
Right.
For it. So that's extra money. So we'll be nice though and just keep it at $400. What's up, Tim?
Jeremy.
Tim the Tool Man. That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Not you in particular, but Tim Allen. I had a verb. Anyways. Now you need an iPad dash kit.
Yeah.
Dash kit is $250. Then let's say you only have a left and right output coming out of an iPad, so you're going to need to go to something to get a stereo signal, front rear sub, EQ, and all that. So the cheapest thing I could come up with is going with the Kenwood KMM BT 518 HD. Yes, I actually did some thought on this. And that online you can get for about $115. That's going to give you all the features that the Pioneer radio has. 13-band EQ, time correction, yada, 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 app control, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, depending on what one you go with, you're at $765 to $895.
To install,
that's just for product.
Just to buy in the stuff.
So, $765 to $895 for product.
Okay.
You're still going to need a dash kit, wiring harness, and antenna adapter.
That's like what?
Which who cares? You're going to need that for both. So I consider that a 0 across the board. But where it really kills you is labor. Like he just said, an iPad in the dash is $1,000. Putting in a radio, you're looking anywhere between $150 to $200. Depending on who you go and what you're doing and what kind of radio it is.
Right.
So the point to all this is, yes, go ahead, put an iPad in your dash, but don't compare it to a $500 radio that does a ton of shit. Just because you can't watch, push a button and go, oh, there's my YouTube, there's my movie, there's this. So back it up a little bit. Realize it is what it is, and it's not a terrible thing. You know.
No, I think it's awesome.
For that 1% person that wants the iPad and the Dash, that $1,800 is not a big deal. I totally get it. And by $1,800, I mean the $800 for all the parts plus $1,000 to put it in. Now, keep in mind, you can maybe do it yourself or get it for $500. Somebody will do it. I get it. It's still going to cost you more than this, and at the end of the day, the functionality isn't going to be as seamless. So,
well, you can put like, Velcro, done. I got my iPad.
Or get that skosh that slides into the CD player.
There you go, man.
Perfect. So, all right. Anyways, I just wanted to vent that because I thought it was like, stop comparing these to iPads. They're two totally different animals and two totally different things. And the average guy that walks in, he doesn't like the lady today with the Avalon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she wanted CarPlay. She wanted to take out her JBL system. She wanted a nicer radio. We're not putting an iPad in her dash. She bought the 1330.
Yeah.
She's rocking. And it's perfect for her. So there again, there's a product for everyone. Just like the people that love the Sony radios, the people that love the Alpine radios, and the people that love the iPads and the Dash. But let's compare apples with apples when we're complaining about things. Okay, so with that being said,
yes.
Talk to me. What do we got?
All right, we have a lot of people.
Digital outputs. I agree. Fiber out. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I totally agree.
So, you already read the Pioneer 2330 needs a dyno.
What has been your most expensive mistake story? Ooh, let me think about that.
Hello from Kansas.
Get to the questions.
Okay, I'm trying to.
What's up, Wayne? How do you say that? Voldemort? Let's see some infinite baffle builds. I don't even think we have an infinite baffle woofer. What's up, Oscar?
Okay, so Chris is like, how are the audio control LOCs? I heard people having noise issue with them. The 2017 Silverado with the 8 inches navigation non-ball system.
Okay, so the problem with the audio control is, hold that, good question.
What's up, team? Jeremy, Christopher from Buffalo. Cool, man. Gabe.
Oh, that's Daisy. That's Artie's wife. Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
Or Artie. Okay, so question is noise with audio control devices. Now, what happens is on these newer cars, we're using Class D amplifiers built into the radios now. And when you take the load off of the radio, meaning that 4 ohm, 2 ohm, 8 ohm speaker, whatever it is, off of the amplifier, excuse me, ginger ale, it does strange things. Because the amplifier isn't made to work that way. So what happens is you get, a lot of the times you get a lot of really high-pitched tweeter sound that isn't normally there. It's like, whoa, what the hell happened? So what you have to do is you have to put some kind of load back onto it before it goes into the high level to low level. Now, audio control is known about this. Everyone has known about this. And that's what these are. These are the new audio control load signals. It's called an LCLGD. And these are load adapters that go before your audio control, or any high level to low level for that matter. These aren't just for audio control. You can use these on anybody's product to put that load back on the radio so that it doesn't go crazy and cause that weird funky noise that you're talking about. So yes, this is a known issue. A lot of people like to put 50 ohm 50 to 47 ohm 5 watt resistors in line. Does basically the same thing. This is just a much nicer network. They spent a lot of time developing this so that this doesn't, like audio control, doesn't color the music and change the way it sounds. This isn't causing it. That's important. So if you're doing an audio control on a newer vehicle, just plan on buying a set of these. Or if you're doing any high level to low level for that matter that doesn't have load resistors built into them, plan on picking this guy up. It's very cool. Problem solved. Okay.
All right. So.
And I'll ask for audio control to send me the check. Oh, let me call Chris. Get Chris put on the phone. So he can send the check to.
All right. Alexander from Sweden. Hello, buddy. What has been your most expensive mistake?
Oh yeah, that was. I saw that.
That was Vladimir. Wayne, what's going on, Wayne? How you doing, buddy?
So me personally, that's a tough one.
Oscar.
I I was going through a firewall once. This is why we use a fiberglass rod when we go through the firewall now. Is that I used to use a metal rod, and I was going through a grommet, and this is why we like to not go through grommets. You know, it falls back in that Italian job. I had a bad experience. I put my metal rod through the firewall, and it clipped a couple wires, shorted out, cut and shorted out some wires at the firewall. So we had to take it to the dealer and have them pull out like the brake to fix the wires and all that fun stuff. So that kind of sucked. That was about $400 or $500. I've had guys that have installers that have worked for me, drilled through master cylinders. I had an NXX where they drilled through the brake line trying to go through the firewall.
What's up, Bill?
Had a boat. Oh, what's up, Bill? I had a boat where the customer told my installer to screw the amp to the sidewall of the boat. And of course he did, and he's like, I don't think I should do that. And the guy's like, yeah, do it. Used like 1/2-inch screws, and of course it was only 1/4-inch fiberglass, so 4 screws stuck out the side of the boat. That was his problem. So yeah, I mean, the thing of it is we have to remind ourselves, we work on cars all day, every day, 27 years now of working on cars. To be 100% or 110% or whatever you want perfect all the time, it's next to impossible. Things are going to happen. I mean, when we did the most recently, when we did that Ford F-150 kit, when PAC's Ford F-150 kit came out, we were one of the people that got one to test and doing. And when we built it, the instructions were still being developed, so we didn't put it together right because the instructions were still being developed. And the effect was the air conditioner got the air compressor motor kicked itself out of the body control module, so the air conditioner didn't work. So, I mean, it would blow, but it wouldn't blow cold. So we were freaking out. We thought it was going to cost us all kinds of money. We put the factory radio back in. We had to rebuild the kit and build the kit 6 or 7 times. Finally, about 9 o'clock, we sent the customer home. He calls us 10 minutes later, and he's like, dude, it's working fine. And we're like, oh, son of a bitch. So what it had to do was it just had to recycle. The computer had to recycle, driving down the road 10 minutes. So now PAC knows that that's an issue if you do this wrong. So things like that just happen sometimes, and it stinks.
Put it in the instructions.
It could have been a lot worse, but you have those stress levels where things like that. And like the Corvette on Saturday with the top.
With the top, yeah.
So we had to do a Corvette on Saturday, and we had the top up because we were working in the back putting a Sirius XM antenna in, and the top was stuck up like this. I had to pull the battery because I was putting a front camera in. And then
we put the battery
all back together, and the top wouldn't work. Well, luckily I have a friend that's a really good mechanic who's on here a lot, Andrew. And he goes, dude, roll the window down, roll the window up, hold the switch for 5-10 seconds, and then try it again. And sure enough, did that, hit the button, windows rolled down, top closed, life is good.
It was like magic.
But that whole 15 minutes of just like, oh my God.
Now what?
Now what? So... But these are just things that happen. I mean, there again, the Ford Fusion today, not that anything happened, but we're looking at the wiring in this car. We're putting new speakers in it. And there's 3 wires going in the door that controls everything. So lock, unlock for 4 doors, windows up and down for 4 doors, the mirrors. It's 3 wires.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, long answer, short question. Moving on.
All right. How you doing, Oscar? Alondra, what's going on? Christopher, hello.
Damn,
thanks for all your advice and videos. I was wondering if you could tell me how good the Pioneer backup camera is. I'm debating on purchasing the AVIC 8201 of the 8200 with an aftermarket camera. I don't want a license plate camera.
Well, no, the camera that comes with it is quality-wise is great. Picture-wise, amazing. The only hiccup we run into is that the wiring harness isn't what we're used to dealing with. It's a little bit longer, and we like to keep our connection points close to our camera. So what we end up doing is, it's like a 25-foot cable. I mean, it's tons of room. So what we end up doing is we'll get our cable in, and then we'll zip tie it into we'll shrink wrap it into a bundle so that the connection stays closer to the camera in the back or the front, depending on what we're using it for. Because lately we've been using a lot of the Pioneer cameras as front cameras because they look really nice. Now, as far as not wanting a license plate camera, that one right there above Fernando's head, that little silver thin bar, I mean, it's a full license plate, it's just washed out.
Yeah.
That's the camera. That little tiny black dot, that's it. So, and we have that up on YouTube. We have the video that's called My Favorite Camera.
Yeah.
That's the best camera you're going to find. I don't, you know, that's it. That's got the best low light. It's an amazing camera.
All right.
Pioneer's good too, though. Okay.
Tim, have you ever run across a 50 amp fuse that looks good, but is bad?
All the time.
That was wrong with my radio.
All the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what happens is fuses now are made very, very, very cheaply. They're usually gold ends, and what happens is the solder melts because they're using cheap solder. So it doesn't actually blow the fuse. It heats up the solder so hot it vaporizes out, and then you end up with just a fuse that is not connected, or it will connect and then it heats up and disconnects. So I don't use glass fuses anymore if I can avoid it.
All right.
I think the 8-gauge kits come with them, and I hate that, but it's what it is. Luckily, we've had no problems with those.
All right, Brian, Chad, what's going on, buddy? Gabe, Victor. Victor saying, I have a Kicker CS 6.5s. Hook up to my 4100 NEX. Should I run it with the amp?
CS?
CS. The 6.5s.
You don't need to.
No.
I mean, no. The CS 6.5, it'll work off the 18 watts. I mean, everything sounds better with an amplifier.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You could take the lowest wattage, most affordable speaker and put an amplifier on it, actively cross it over, and make it sound 100 times better than it does off a deck power. Because it's deck power. It's okay. It gets the job done. But an amp will always sound better. And the reason why is if you take a 35 watt or 50 watt deck and a 50 watt amp, as they're turning up, they're going to sound about the same. But what you're going to notice is when that deck gets to a certain point, it's going to start doing this, whereas the amp is going to keep going up and up and up. So to about halfway up, they'll be about the same. So always, if you can do it.
All right, Gabe, what track do I use for my DD1 for my bass amp?
I'm sorry, I was reading.
Okay.
Micah had me there. Sorry.
All right. What track do I use for my DD1 for my bass amp?
We like to do the -5 is where we've been at lately. Sometimes we'll usually start at -10, and then we'll go, if we listen to that and it's a little too much, we'll go back to -5.
Yeah.
But lately we've ended up on -5 on a lot of them just because we don't want to blow any woofers. But -10, depending on the type of music you listen to, was where we were starting for a really long time.
All right. Well, Eric, what's good speaker to put in my Mustang GT 2017?
Does it have the Mach stereo? Does your Mustang have the Mach stereo, or is it just the base model? Do you have the subwoofers in the door?
All right. Rafael, the Hyundai 911. What did you guys put the amps under the seat?
The Hyundai 911, the amplifier went in the...
I don't remember.
That was the... okay, I'm thinking of the BRZ, the Hyundai... It probably went under the seat. It either went under the seat or in the...
I'm going to check in the pictures that we have, and probably I can come back and...
I'm pretty sure they went under the seat.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that car. I'm just trying to remember. That was like a year ago, so maybe a year and a half. I'm pretty sure they're under the seat.
All right. So Alondra say, I have a 4800 with a Rockford 6.5 speakers in each door, but for some reason my bass is not good. I'm stuck. Setup help. Okay. I have no clue how to adjust the speaker level in the settings. The 48.
Does he have... What's his name?
Alondra.
Do you have a subwoofer in the car, or is it just 4 6.5s? That's important, because if you just have 4 6.5s, you're really not going to get much bass out of them, because the big secret in car audio is every single manufacturer that makes these makes subwoofers, and they're not going to make these produce a ton of bass. That's why they have bigger magnets on the back, because the bigger the magnet, the higher the power handling, some cases, the lower amount of bass you get, especially when you're dealing with deck power.
Yeah.
So, like a punch speaker really doesn't have a lot of bass that comes from it. So, yeah, do you have an amp? If you're just using deck power, you shouldn't have to worry about adjusting speaker level at all. Just leave it all at 0.
Yeah.
Crossover wise, there again, if you don't have
so she don't have subwoofer.
No, so you don't want to turn on the crossover. You don't want to play with the speaker level. Really, the only thing you want to play with is the EQ. And then turn on loudness, probably to medium.
Yeah.
But that's it. I would put it on powerful, put the loudness at medium, leave all the things at 0 because you really can't do time correction unless you have a subwoofer. So, yeah. But if you feel like it's not giving you enough impact, it's probably not, and it's because you need a subwoofer because those speakers don't put out a lot of bass. They put out a decent amount of mid-range.
It was 4 speakers in the deck. Okay.
Yeah, is that her?
Yeah.
Okay.
The stock speaker was a
Oh, it's in a Jeep?
Okay, in a Jeep.
We'll go back. There was a question about a Jeep. I saw a Renegade. It was a long question.
This one?
I don't know.
Toyota.
That one. What was that one?
He said, "Hey guys, I have a business question. If it's not something I wish to answer, understand. Anyway, I work in an audio shop and I currently on stock rock for JL, Renegade, and Alpine. We are looking for other brands to bring. What would you recommend? Thank you."
So it sounds like you don't actually have any of the higher end, what we like to call the European models.
Mm-hmm.
So I would look into something.
His name is Dustin.
Dustin. I would look into bringing in something in the European lineup. So you have Audison Hertz, which is one of the big players. Focal is probably the biggest player. You have Morel. You have Hollywood. Was it Hollywood Sound Labs? You have what's the other one? The one that Steve has in his car.
Hybrid.
Hybrid.
Yes,
yeah, hybrid.
Audio.
So those are really, and then you have
Morel.
already said Morel. You have Gladen, Moscone. Those are the audiophile, like, yeah. So we carry Hertz, Audison, and Focal as our premium brands, so to speak. The other thing too is they didn't have Alpine, did they?
Yes, they carry Alpine.
They do have Alpine?
Yeah.
You know, Alpine is nice because you can get into the R-Type and they have the new X-Type, but there again, you're real limited on that. I mean, you have Rockford, you have really nice brands.
I mean, they have JL, you know?
Yeah, but, you know, it's like JL only gets you so far, and then you need that other brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would look at, I mean, if you want to narrow it down, see if you can get Focal or Morel.
Yeah.
Those are two really nice esoteric-ish brands that, you know, when people are like, what else you got?
Yeah.
You just go, here's a $2,400 set of speakers. You want those? And they just go, oh. You know, the nice thing too about having a brand that's expensive is it allows you to walk them down into something that's expensive, but they feel is cheaper. So, like, if you show somebody a set of K2s for $1,200, and they're like, wow, I really don't want to be there, then you can walk them down to some JL C7s, a little bit more reasonable. You know? I'm like, oh, hey, save me a bunch of money. I don't know.
Right. All right. So Peter Michael say, hey guys, he's coming.
Yeah, Dyne Audio. Forgot those.
Oh yeah.
Not ARC. Not a fan of ARC.
No, ARC Audio. Hertz. Yeah.
I think their amps are nice, not speakers.
He's coming to Newport Richie, and probably he's stopping by. Cool, man.
We'll be here.
Yeah. Thank you. Mike, Dean, you're my hero.
I saw that. That's what got me stuck.
Okay, Steve, do you know if Paul ever received those Hertz Pro Series yet?
I have no idea.
All right. What's up, Jose from Queens?
Hey.
Ashley, what are your thoughts on the Toyota Focal speakers with the PDX V9? Work for the money? Different Focal, so high energy Hertz.
Well, we just did that, and the Toyota, the Tundra, that was the video 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, whatever. They're great speakers. It sounds amazing. If you're thinking high energy or those, he's gonna say high energy for sure.
Yes, I know.
And they're not. And to be fair, it really comes down to your installation as far as if you're going to do it yourself, you're going to pay, because the great thing about the focals, they're easy to install ish. They're more or less plug and play. It saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
The high energy is going to be a little bit more money, a little bit, because they're both expensive. Really the main difference is the high energy 6x9 isn't a separate, so you'd have to do like, you do the 3-way set, the high energy 3-way set. That would be really nice, but I don't know, that's a tough one. I don't know, that's tough. Or you could do the 6 and tweeter, but then you have the bigger mid bass from the 6x9. Wow. Well, that's a great question.
Right.
I don't think you're going to do wrong either way. Let's just put it that way. I think the high energy would probably be louder as far as the tweeter goes, because the high energy is called a high energy for a reason. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Any recommendation on the 6x9s?
High energy. Best 6x9 on the planet is the high energy 6x9. So if you got the budget to fit that in your car, buy those. Otherwise, check out like some Alpine R types.
Yeah, well, that's for Alondra. What kind of car you have, so we can actually, you know.
But the Alpine R type is a real popular 6x9. That's reasonably priced. There I said, high energy is not going to be reasonably priced, but they're the best 6x9s. But you do need an amplifier. So the other thing too is, are you going to run them on deck power? If you're going to run them on deck power, then you might want to look at something like the hey Tony. What's up, Tony?
What's up, John?
If you're going to run them off deck power, you might want to look at like a Punch or possibly a Kenwood Exelon 6x9 is really nice too. Focal makes the Auditor series, which is also pretty good.
Quote Wayne is like, quote of the day: jail, we only get you so far. That's awesome. I like that one.
Oh, hey, it's true.
That's awesome, man. Okay, let's see. That's awesome. I totally missed everything. Yeah. Are those Aero brands actually premium or just market really high and better return?
What are we talking about?
For the
better
brands,
the speakers?
The brand that you were talking about.
Oh no, let me tell you what. No. All those brands that we mentioned are definitely worth the money. There's no question about it.
They're not cheap.
Okay, so I mean, we've had this conversation extensively. When he started working here, he had only heard $50, $60, $70 pair of speakers. I'm like, dude, you never heard a $300 or $400, $500, $800 set of speakers? He's like, never. They're all the same. It's like, no. It's like, okay, well, the first set at the time we didn't have Focal, we had Hertz, and we did some high energies components up front off a PDX V9. I believe it was in a Prius maybe, and we tuned it all up, and I let him sit in the car, and he was like, oh my God, this is what, at the time, I think they were $450, $500 set of speakers sounds like. And it's like, yeah, no, there's no comparison. You're getting your money's worth, there's no doubt about it. I mean, even today, when we did the Fusion today, we put the energies in the front of in this Fusion.
The components,
the components. And Paul was like, let's do punch. I was like, wait a minute, slow it down. Let's talk to the guy, find out what he actually wants. And it was like, okay, no, you really need these energy speakers because you want that sound. And when you hear them, you'll be like, oh, I get it. And that's the thing. When it comes down to these more expensive esoteric speakers, you have to listen to them. And then you get it, you go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, all right. And then it's real easy, and then the other thing, too, about them is they have a great story. And you can tell people a story. People love stories. So a lot of these brands have great stories. I mean, when I sold Macintosh, I sold more Macintosh telling people about Macintosh, and they just wanted to be part of that history. So, it's weird.
All right, Eric, for the Mustang GT 2017, has the premium sound system.
So you're going to run into a couple problems there with the premium sound system. It's not going to be real easy just to swap out the speakers and get a better sound. I mean, you can, and you probably, okay. If it's a premium sound, no Sony, then go for it. Like the Fusion today, that was a premium sound, no Sony, which means it has the subwoofers and whatnot. And we did the energy line of Hertz in there, and it sounded amazing. So might be something you don't want to go crazy like high energy, but energy or the Focal access line would be something to think about. If those are like, whoa, You might want to look into there again, like Punch or Alpine Type R's.
Okay, when it's a backup battery needed in the trunk?
Backup battery is needed in the trunk pretty much every system people do. However, most people don't do them because they don't want to. I would, anytime you're doing 2 amplifiers, I would probably go with a second battery. That's kind of rule of thumb. If you're doing it, and I don't mean like 2 small amplifiers. I don't mean like a 35 by 4 or even a 70 by 4 and a 500 by 1.
No.
I mean like when you're doing like 1,000 watts of real power.
Yes.
Like real power, not it's a 1,500 watt amp. It says dual. No. So like if you're doing 1,000 watts of real power and you're doing like 100 watts, or yes, in that case, buy a good sized battery, put it in the trunk, and it'll sound better. I mean, I used to tell people back in the day, for every dollar you spend on an amplifier, 50 cents should go towards upgrading whatever it is you're putting in, be it power wire, batteries, distribution blocks, all that fun stuff.
All right. You say hi to Tony, right?
I said hi to Tony.
All right, I'm looking to change vehicle. Just curious, will my 4100 NAX, what?
4100 NEX.
Okay, and the dash in a Pontiac Grand Prix, or should I upgrade it to the new Pioneer flip out?
What year Grand Prix?
They don't say.
I don't even know.
Craig.
I don't think the Grand Prix was a
maybe
double
he's
dip.
gonna modify the dash.
You could probably cut the dash, but I don't think the Grand Prix had a Marcus, this is a family oriented. I know, I'm sorry. There's been 2 cuss words in the show, and I'm very, I'm bad. Maybe 3. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I got a little carried away. I know. I'm trying to. I know you guys sit on your couch and your wife, kids. I apologize.
Breathe.
I apologize. I really try to police that a lot, but I made a mistake. I'm sorry, Marcus. Please forgive me.
Then you're like.
Sue's over there going, stop.
Yeah.
All right. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, I think it's a
Grand
10.5. I don't think it's gonna fit. So you might want to think about going up to the flip out, the 330. Yeah, the 330. We just did one in the ambulance. That was cool.
Will be 2004 and up model.
Ooh, 2004 and up might have the dash, because I think that's the changeover period.
Yeah.
Go to pack-audio.com, and that'll have a list of all the parts you need for that car. You can also go to metroonline.com if you prefer to use them, whichever one works for you, and they'll show you. It's going to be, if it's a pack, it'll be a 420 kit. I know, right? It'll be a 420 kit, so if you see something that says 420 kit, then you're golden. Or 422, something like that. 420 or 422.
All right.
It's the 422. Okay.
Ashley, will you do 6.5s and a plate for a Toyota, or 6x9s? Looking at the Focal or the high energy?
If you're going to do the high energy and you're going to do components, because that tweeter's up in the dash, I would probably do 6 in a plate. I mean, we've done that enough times to where, 6 in the plate. Because when you do the 6x9 down in the door and then you have to put a set of tweeters up in the dash, it totally screws up the imaging. It's great if you just want loud, but if you actually want imaging, that tweeter down low just kind of does strange things. I mean, like the Ram that you guys are going to see here real soon. Hopefully today or tomorrow that video will be up. We put R-type 6x9s in the door, and then R-type tweeters in the dash, and the imaging was very hard to get up where we wanted it. But the customer loved it because that's what he's had in his previous Dodge Ram, so it wasn't a matter of convincing him to do anything different. He came in and said, I want the same thing you put in my last one. I absolutely loved it. And I was like, okay, no problem.
Okay, so she said, if the Toyota will be yours, what will you do? High energies or Focal?
I am an avid lover of the Focal K2s. Okay?
Yes.
The K2 is my favorite speaker right now. And it's killing me because I really love the K2s, and I want to put them in my car.
Put it on.
But I don't want to spend the money. Haley's going to college, man. It's like a credit hour. Still got to pay for this stuff. So the Focal K2s are my personal favorite speaker. I love them a lot. Now, they make the Flax, which is the next level down, which is about half the price, if not less. And we don't carry those, but our good friend Jason at Stereo Kings says that those things are the closest thing. Some people think they actually sound better. I don't know about that. I haven't heard them, but you might want to look at the flax compared to the high energy. Now, the nice thing about high energy is loud. So if you listen to music that is just crazy sharp tweeter, that's what they're made for. If you don't like, don't go with the high energy because they will make your ears bleed.
All right.
Okay, sorry. I don't know why I was doing this.
All right. So Valerie, Pioneer TSC 172 PRS are well worth for the money. Has MDO 790 sounds out of this world. I think this one is the 2.6s.
Yeah.
The subwoofer.
Oh, PRS? No, PRS is the those are going to be the expensive. Those are those. We don't carry those. Those are because if it ends in PRS, that's the high end line.
Yes.
So
172 PRS.
We don't carry those.
I'm sure they will for the money.
Yeah. I don't know what phase more.
The phase I think the phase is this one. The big subwoofer.
Oh, the loudspeakers?
No, this.
It's got a model number on the back right there. Flip it over.
No, this is never mind. This is
I would
TS,
never say PRS.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay, never mind.
If they're what I'm thinking of, those are really nice speakers. Because I'm pretty sure it's the ones I'm thinking of. Those are the ones that guy got off of. They came with the free 4-inch.
Okay.
That we put up in those little pods on the dash. Those were amazing.
All right. So, how can I test my speakers to make sure the sound coming out it's perfect, and I didn't mess it up the wiring?
You mean like test polarity?
Yeah, probably.
Watch any one of our videos. We always test for polarity. You need a polarity tester for one. You need to be able to make sure all the speakers are moving in the same direction, either both in, both out. They all have to move the same. To do that, you need a polarity tester. The easiest thing to do is if you have any form of iDevice, they make an app, any iDevice, it doesn't matter. They make an app called Speaker Pop.
Speaker Pop, yeah.
Okay, which is this guy here, Speaker Pop.
Put it next to it.
Okay,
No,
I'm sorry.
Wait.
It's this. It's called Speaker Pop.
Yes.
What you do is you come out of here with your headphone jack output, plug it into the aux jack of the radio. This is going to go tick, tick, tick. You just take this around to all the speakers, and they'll either say plus or minus. If they all say plus or they all say minus, you're good, and they're all playing the right direction, and you don't have to worry about it. What happens is if your speakers are moving like this instead of like this, then you get cancellation and it doesn't sound good. Now, as far as like crossovers and stuff like that, or just general, that's really hard to test without like an RTA or know what you're listening for.
All right. When you guys going to do a video on you guys work on Ferrari?
Oh, you guys gonna do a video when you work on a Ferrari? When someone brings us a Ferrari. I haven't worked on one in years. I have no problems with that either.
No. Okay, John.
Yes.
Cuss away and make the show more enjoyable.
What's that? Oh, cussing makes the show
more enjoyable.
All right, we'll get John and Marcus in the room and they can duke it out.
All right, Ryan. What would you recommend for a good shallow 6.5 or 6x9 sub for the front door or on the 15 GMC Canyon?
15. Why would you want to do a sub in the front door of GMC Canyon?
I mean, I don't even know if they're gonna have the deep.
I mean, Addictive Audio, the ones we put in the Fusion, which a couple shows back in the install diaries, they made a 6x9-inch subwoofer that we put into the rear deck of this Fusion, which after today with the energy, they sounded really good. So I know Addictive Audio makes a 6x9-inch subwoofer. As far as a 6.5-inch subwoofer, Like when we do the Jeeps, and the Toyotas, we use the audio pipe 6.5-inch woofer. If you're just looking for a lot of mid-bass out of the door, you might want to check out the Kenwood Exelon 7-inch line of speakers. They make a 7-inch as opposed to a 6.5. They make the XR series, which is the higher end of the two, that has a really strong mid-bass because it's a 7-inch. Other than that, like Audison, the Prima makes an 8-inch mid-bass, but most of them are just going to be mid-bass. I know we've done like a Silverado we did with some 8-inch louds, but that's about it. That's all I can think of on that one.
Alright, so Mike, say if I have the Jello Top Optima battery and a 30 Hz capacitor, do I still need a second battery?
Well, that's a great question. The yellow top is an accessory battery. It's not really made for starting the car. The red top is what's made for starting the car. The yellow top was always made to go and power all the accessories in the back, light bars, stereos, whatever, power inverters and stuff like that. So, do you still need a second battery even though you have a 35 farad capacitor? I would probably say you probably need one more because you have the 35 farad capacitor.
So buy a red top, put it in the front,
and move the yellow top to the back. Because the capacitor also draws current, so it's actually gonna exacerbate the situation more so than not having it. It's great if it has the power to draw. It totally stinks if it doesn't have the power to draw, because then it will actually try to draw more current than the amplifier, and it could make the whole thing just fall apart. Sad.
Alright. So Craig, he's like, thank you for all the help you guys do. You guys are amazing, and you guys do a kick-ass. What?
Keith, Big Bopper.
Alright, so that was funny. You guys do an amazing videos in the Insta. Keep it coming.
Yep.
Never miss a single episode.
Thank you.
Watch it all. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's it. And the next one is Kenneth. Yeah.
I firmly believe Fernando is the brains behind the
operation. Yes! Yes, I am.
I'm not going to dispute it. I mean, he keeps me grounded.
That's cool.
So that's it?
Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah,
We're caught up?
We're caught up.
Perfect. What time is it? It's 7:13, so that puts us right at about 45 minutes. All right, guys. That's perfect timing. Thank you all for all your wonderful questions. We're going to try to do...
The new people, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please go to YouTube, subscribe. And,
we're going to try to have a YouTube Live on Friday.
All right.
We've done it 2 weeks now. We really haven't talked about it, but we're thinking Friday has been working out. So sometime Friday, we don't know when, we'll post it on Twitter. So if you follow us on Twitter, usually I can give about a 10-minute window before we go up. Not that you guys need it, because you guys are like boom, 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 boom. So with that, we're going to say goodnight. You guys have a great night, of course. As usual, we'll see you later next time. Bye.